Today, we've got a jaw-dropping story about how cargo ships are using secret, high-tech tactics to avoid becoming the next victim of pirates. If you thought pirates were only a thing of the past, think again. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be shocked by the lengths these vessels go to stay safe in some of the world's most dangerous waters. Anti-piracy equipment. When it comes to anti-piracy measures, commercial ships typically employ two layers of defense against pirate attacks. The first layer is called the discouragement layer, which works much like installing security cameras around your house. While security cameras don't physically stop burglars, they can deter them from targeting your property. In the case of ships, this layer includes things like decoy crew members, laser systems that disrupt pirates' vision, and even the option of increasing the vessel's speed to make boarding a moving target much more difficult. The second layer is the anti-boarding layer, which is similar to having a security gate around your house. It makes a break-in much more difficult, and in some cases, almost impossible. This layer includes physical deterrents like razor wire, water cannons, and more, all designed to prevent pirates from actually boarding the ship. LRAD, long-range acoustic device. Among the most effective tools for discouraging pirates are long-range acoustic devices, LRADs. These devices work by communicating with approaching boats, warning them off, or broadcasting loud, disorienting sounds that can be extremely uncomfortable. When pirates approach, the crew can activate LRADs, which emit a piercing sound as loud as standing behind a jet engine. This sound can be so uncomfortable that pirates may choose to abandon their attack. You might think that pirates could just wear earplugs to block out the sound, but that's not as effective as you'd think. According to the manufacturers, sound can still travel to the inner ear through vibration of the bones in the skull, which is similar to how bone conduction headphones work. So even with ear protection, the sound will still reach them, making it a highly effective deterrent. But what happens if the pirates are determined? Well, they could try to destroy the LRADs with gunfire. That's when the second layer of defense comes into play. The anti-boarding systems, anti-boarding trailing wires. This might sound simple, but trailing wires are an incredibly effective tool for stopping pirate boats. Essentially, these wires are deployed across the water surface. When a pirate boat crosses them, the wires tangle around the engine's propeller, making it impossible for the boat to continue its approach. The same principle is applied on cargo ships, where these trailing wires can be deployed from the ship's sides and stern. Any boat that tries to get too close risks getting entangled and stopped in its tracks. This sudden halt can be dangerous for pirates, causing them to rethink their plan. Water cannons. Water cannons are another surprisingly effective tool in the anti-piracy arsenal. These cannons use high-pressure water to deter pirates, much like how water cannons are used for riot control. Not only can they make it difficult for pirates to board, but they can also fill an approaching boat with water, potentially sinking it. Some water cannons are remotely operated, allowing the crew to use them from a safe distance, avoiding direct exposure to enemy fire. Others are fixed in place and can spray water in multiple directions to hinder any attempts to board. Some more advanced systems even have rotating heads, allowing them to consistently spray the ship's sides with water, further complicating any pirate's attempt to climb on board. Then, there is the water curtain, an innovative design that ensures the nozzle stays near the water surface, allowing the water to be discharged with high pressure, causing the hose to lash unpredictably and violently. Anyone hit by this would feel it hard. Razor wire and safety barriers. A classic yet effective form of defense is razor wire, also known as barbed wire, which can be set up around the ship's perimeter to prevent pirates from climbing on board using ladders. Rolls of razor wire can be quickly deployed when needed. An alternative approach is to install safety barriers on the sides of the ship. These barriers make it nearly impossible for pirates to hook their ladders onto the ship, as the shape of the barrier and the gap it creates between the ladder and the ship makes climbing over difficult, if not impossible. Anti-piracy measures versus Houthi rebels. All of the anti-boarding measures mentioned above were designed to protect ships from pirates using small boats. However, these measures were not designed to defend against a helicopter attack, as happened on November 19, 2023. That day, a helicopter approached the Israeli-owned cargo ship Galaxy Leader in the Red Sea and dropped off a group of armed Houthi rebels, along with what appeared to be a professional videographer. The crew, consisting of just 25 members, was taken hostage. So, what could the crew of Galaxy Leader have done to protect themselves in this situation? In most hijacking scenarios, once attackers are on board, the best option for the crew is to lock themselves in a secure room and notify authorities. Pirates often lack the ability to operate a large vessel, and without hostages to leverage, they are likely to leave before law enforcement arrives. But the Houthi attack was different. The element of surprise from the sky made this defensive strategy impossible. Piracy goals: Somali waters versus Gulf of Guinea. The goals of pirates vary depending on their location. Take Somali pirates, for example. When they hijack a ship, their goal is to hold both the ship and its crew hostage until a ransom is paid. A well-known example is the 2008 hijacking of the Fina, a Ukrainian cargo ship. Somali pirates held the 20 crew members hostage for 4 months until a ransom of $3.2 million was paid. Once the ransom was delivered, the pirates released the ship and the crew. In contrast, pirates operating in the Gulf of Guinea tend to focus more on stealing the ship's cargo rather than holding the crew hostage. After transferring the cargo to another ship, the pirates usually release the crew and leave the vessel. These operations can take up to 10 days, during which the crew is typically held hostage. How commercial ships avoid pirates. There are several ways that commercial ships can reduce the likelihood of becoming a pirate target. After a series of attacks by Houthi rebels from Yemen, many shipping companies have opted to avoid routes through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. Instead, they now travel around the African continent, which adds about a week to their journey. This detour increases shipping costs and causes delays, but it helps avoid pirate activity in these high-risk areas. Ships that continue to use these risky routes may end up paying higher insurance premiums to cover the threat of piracy. But why not just arm the crew with firearms, allowing them to defend themselves against pirates? In theory, that might work, but there are legal and practical limitations to consider. Why aren't cargo ships armed? In international waters, merchant ships are subject to the regulations of the country whose flag they fly. If the flag state allows, the ship can carry weapons. However, when the ship travels between ports and countries, firearms may be prohibited in some places, leading to complex legal issues. Aside from the legal issues, the crew of a cargo ship is primarily there to operate the vessel, not to engage in combat. This is why many ships hire private security companies to accompany them in pirate-infested waters. These security teams are vetted and trained to handle pirate threats without jeopardizing the crew's safety. Navies against piracy. When piracy becomes widespread and severe, navies play a crucial role. In the early 2000s, piracy in Somali waters reached alarming levels, with Somali pirates carrying out 212 attacks in 2011 alone. The World Bank estimated that these attacks cost the global economy $18 billion annually. In response, the U.S. Navy and coalition forces began actively pursuing pirate vessels to deter these attacks. A notable confrontation occurred on March 18, 2006, when Somali pirates engaged the USS Gonzales and USS Cape St. George with RPGs and small arms fire. The U.S. Navy returned fire, setting a pirate skiff ablaze with a .50 caliber tracer round. But even with all these tools at their disposal, the crew of a ship must remain vigilant, ready to face whatever challenges come their way, whether that means fighting pirates off the sides or avoiding them altogether. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more incredible insights into the hidden world of maritime security and defense strategies.